Hey everyone, Steve here. This is my reaction to Liverpool's 2-0 win over Brighton. Just come off the watch along where we were glued to that one, to say the least. Liverpool coming out with 2 goals to nil winners rather, thanks to Hugo Eat with a wonderful brace. Honestly, I thought Liverpool, dealt with adversity well. It wasn't perfect. Of course, it wasn't perfect. And, had they been able to counter-attack properly, they could have won that one by a cricket score. I think if you ask Brighton, they'll probably be absolutely wondering how they didn't score a goal as well. So I think Liverpool are the better team. Again, that 2-0 scoreline, honestly, it could have been 4-0. It could have been 4-3. Anything could have happened there. But yeah, Liverpool needed the win, obviously, absolutely needed the win, that goes without saying. And just start, again, it hasn't been perfect, but after that massive run of losses, they're starting a little bit now just to turn it back. It's not perfect, and like I say, it hasn't always gone brilliantly, but, to go through, what you've been through in recent weeks and start maybe just some green shoots, I think fair play to them. I thought they showed a lot of character, and I know sometimes that word is frowned upon, but sometimes you do need that in footy, and they did show that. In terms of standout performers, obviously we need to start with Hugo Eat. Obviously, I think it's 10 goals now he's up to in his first Liverpool season, which is absolutely fantastic. 2 very different goals as well. The first one was inside a minute with a very reactive touch and volley over the goalkeeper. It reminded me a little bit like Mo Salah against Man United in that 7-0, where it's just like, it is straight down the goal, but the goalie can't react almost because he hits it so well. So what a start for us. And then actually he had a couple of other chances here and there. He could have scored more, he really could have. Finishes off a bit later in the second half, of course, with a free header at the back post from the corner one, which again he would expect to score, although fair play, he did leap. He got up, didn't he? He had jumps and hung up there, so fair play to him. Another brace for Liverpool, for Hugo Eat, Liverpool's match winner. And he's been, of all the transfers that Liverpool made in the summer, he was actually the one, I'll hold my hands up, he was the one I was most dubious of. I thought Kirk, Premier League, no-brainer. Isak, no-brainer. Florian Wirtz, no-brainer. Sub-goalie sound, you can do whatever. The main signings, I was like, Ekitike, is he clinical? Is he a bit well, no, he's been the best of all of them. He's delivered time and time again, and ultimately he's helped win 3 points for his team. So made up for him, gets to lead the line again and does it really, really well. So fair play. And he was obviously the one I'm going to give my fair shout out to. The next person I want to speak about actually is another one of those transfer signings, and it is Milos Kirk. There were 1 or 2 occasions where he dived in against Minter and got beaten, and I was, what are we doing, mate? But actually, if you judge him on the entire 90 minutes and how he defended against pretty much everyone he come up against, I think you've got to say fair play to Milos Kirk. He did about as well as he could. Like I say, a couple of missteps here and there, but Minter's a good player, and that happens sometimes. He can beat you, he can make a bit of a fool of you. That only really happened when Kirk was a bit too rash. Most of the time, I thought he did a really good job. He defended the back post well with his head as well. He was very aggressive when he needed to be, in terms of if there was a Brighton player maybe getting the ball into feet with the back to goal, he was right up against them trying to take it off them. So fair play to Milos Kirk, as I thought he defended pretty well. Like I say, it wasn't perfect, and there were 1 or 2 moments it could have been better, but for the most part, against a very tricky player, Minter's been linked with Liverpool in the past, and I wouldn't be surprised at some point if he does move on from Brighton. With all due respect to Brighton, that tends to be their model, doesn't it? And he could go for big money somewhere. He's a good player, and I think Kirk did well on him. Next one I want to speak about actually is Hugo Eat, who, he's obviously, since Leeds, he's much maligned to say the least. I actually think he's had back-to-back games now where he's been pretty solid. He had a couple of moments there again where he just nearly had a brain fart and thought he was going to get himself sent off, but he didn't. And not always perfect on the ball, but again, for most of it, I thought he was really, really good. He looked better on the ball, especially in the first half. Some vital blocks, the one where Curtis Jones kind of slows down the counter-attack with the long ball to Minter, and Konate's the one who gets back and makes a vital block. He has one late in the second half at the back post, again, where he flicks it behind for a corner. So much better from Ibu, like I say. I don't need him dribbling through 3 players and then lunging into a challenge when he's on a yellow card. Thankfully, he got the ball, because he would have got himself sent off, and that could have been horrendous. So he still isn't completely immune from the odd head-scratching decision, to say the least. But I thought he defended really well, actually, for pretty much the entirety of the game. Brighton did pose threats, no doubt about it. They could have scored goals. but I thought Liverpool, and in particular Van Dijk and Konate, did okay, did pretty well. I thought Ibu had a much more improved game, which is good to see. I can't believe I'm nearly 5 minutes into this video and I didn't mention Mo Salah. I'll be honest, I've got no idea what the future holds. I'm recording this straight after kick-off, so I don't know what's being said, what's been done. I don't know what it is. But when Joe Gomez goes down injured and the manager's looking at his bench, obviously he has options who he could bring on. He could just go Calvin Ramsey straight swap. He could do whatever he wants. He brings on Mohamed Salah, which maybe goes to show that maybe that everything isn't lost in there. I might be wrong on that, by the way. Something might happen where I might be proved wrong. But Salah looked bright. He looked sharp. He didn't look like a lad who was sulking. Again, he gets the assist with a very good corner for Ekitike. I think actually there was a couple of times on the break where Salah didn't do his best. He misses a chance at the back post later on through Chiesa. The pass towards Andy Robertson is dreadful. So maybe a little bit of ring rust there. That's why you've not been in the team, Mo. You've been rubbish. No, I'm joking. But nice to see him back. Nice to see him looking sharp, smiling, looking okay. Like, yeah, it's been a tough week for everybody. But business comes first. Liverpool needed Mo Salah. Mo Salah wanted to play. Got on the pitch and actually I thought he did all right. He didn't look like a lad who was sulking too much. He celebrates the goal that he assists. Again, he could have he should have scored himself. He could have done better. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't vintage Mohamed Salah in attack. But nice to see him get back on the pitch. Fair play there. Yeah, overall though, I just felt. But it's always tricky against Brighton. So every time, when's the last time we just batter Brighton? It just very rarely if ever happens. We always find it quite tough against them. So in isolation, they're always quite difficult games, and this wasn't an exception. And this is the Liverpool team, like I say, coming off the back of an away Champions League game on Tuesday. Injuries hit. They've had turmoil in the camp. Their other right back, one's injured. They can't bring the next one on because he's suspended. Like. There was every excuse in the world there for Liverpool not to turn up and win that game. There was excuses built in for them, and they didn't do that. They didn't wilt under it. They never looked like a gang of lads who, which I think they have at times recently when things have gone against them. They've almost felt a little bit sorry for themselves, or they haven't reacted well to the adversity. Today things didn't go for them all the time. They lose their defender in the first few minutes. Again, the whole situation with Mohamed Salah has been rumbling on for a week, and the manager and all that kind of stuff. Sobbo goes off a little bit of a sore ankle. Someone else just has to come on, and Curtis Jones has to go and play right back. And Kirkes is down with cramp, but Andy Robertson comes and helps him out. I felt like Liverpool did deal with with adversity very, very well. And like I say, Brighton had some opportunities, some pretty good chances, the best in the first half, which I know Alisson does really well to save. And in the second, Gomez misses a back post tapping, which could have made the game completely different. It's worth mentioning that. It's also worth mentioning, I think he should have been sent off, that challenge on Florian Wirtz. I think that's a red card. Again, let me know in the comment section or on socials if you agree with that. But yeah, listen, this wasn't Liverpool playing 10 out of 10, fantastic, excellent. But some big players stepped up. They showed, again, I go back to it, a lot of character, a lot of desire, a lot of bottle. Just things that you need to do, around the Christmas period, away in Europe, then home to a good team. Things are going against you. You've just got to show a little bit of, something really, cojones maybe, or just, just a little bit of pride in your performance, pride in your shirt. Just be, if it's not going perfectly for you, just show a little bit of fight. And sometimes that's been lacking. It wasn't today. And yet Liverpool get a much needed 3 points. Obviously, Premier League wise, the aim now is to make sure they finish in that top 4 Champions League places. They're not going to win the Premier League at this point. So they need to just keep stacking these wins, build some momentum, see what the second half of the season brings for them. But that's 3 very good points. And yeah, Hugo Eat looks like he might be becoming the next superstar Liverpool striker. Not quite there with Alexander Isak yet. There's more to come. Again, on the bench with a knock. Comes on when Liverpool are more in defensive mode than they are trying to score goals. But Liverpool have got one in Hugo Eat, and if he keeps continuing like this, Liverpool will score loads of goals, and Liverpool should continue to climb the table. So shout out to them all. Yeah, fair play to them all. They weren't all perfect, but they were all showing everything that we wanted from Liverpool players. That was absolutely fantastic. So that's my reviews. Please, again, use the comment section if you want to use that. Use social media if you want to use that. Let us know your thoughts on everything. Yeah, Chloe's done one of these videos as well. If you haven't seen that already or listened to her reaction from the stadium, go ahead and listen to that. And of course, redmenplus.com. Jamie and I haven't done it yet. I'm about to go and record the player ranking show. That might be available depending on when you get to this. But yeah, that'll be available too. We're going to rank each of the Liverpool players based on your vote. We do that after every single Liverpool game. That is available over on Red Men Plus. But for now, that is me signing off. An amazing, amazing feeling watching Liverpool win, especially at home. Oh my goodness me, it's fantastic. Not vintage. Who cares? As long as you keep winning, just win the games, win the points. It wasn't always vintage last year, and that made Liverpool champions. They're not going to be champions now, but they can definitely go on a run. They've got good enough players to do it. And hopefully, Inter Milan to Brighton, go and beat Tottenham, go and beat Wolves, go and beat Leeds, just get on a little run, get some momentum built. And before you know it, hopefully, we can start to see what's been a pretty miserable few months start turning around as we head into 2026. See you all soon.